What is a social media marketing agency, and is it really possible to make 6 or 7 figures doing it? Find out. What's up everybody, it's Adrian Brambila here, currently hanging out in a kitchen on an Airbnb, a little break from my van life, and you're watching one video in a series of 30 on how to make money online for beginners, where we're exploring all different types of side hustles. We've talked about so many different things, from affiliate marketing, dropshipping, teaching, and now today we're going to talk about what some people call SMMA, which stands for Social Media Marketing Agency. If you've never heard this before, I don't get the opportunity to talk much about one of my businesses, which is a marketing agency. You could call it a social media marketing agency, but it's actually bigger than that because we do more than social media. We do traditional marketing, design, architectural design, and of course, digital marketing, which is my forte. But this business, compared to when I started researching and people like Ty Lopez create these classes, and I heard what his classes are about, and these other people creating these SMMA courses, and a lot of questions I get is, Adrian, should I do SMMA? Should I do it? And I'm like, wait a second. What's going on in this marketing agency world? People have like changed the script, and I finally understand what people are selling, and I don't like it. Apparently there's these courses that will teach you how to sell marketing to a business. That's important. You need to learn how to sell to bring a client, but the catch is you want to be able to know how to do the marketing. You never, ever want to trick a customer or a business owner into saying, I will do your Facebook ads for you. And they say, that sounds great. Here's 10 grand to do my Facebook ads. And then you're like, crap, I don't know how to do that. And I think, unfortunately, in these SMMA courses that are going around the internet, they're just teaching you how to get the client, but they're not teaching you how to like fulfill the client's need and beyond, building a good relationship. Because the truth is, when you're building a marketing agency or social media marketing agency, this is actually a people business. This isn't something that you can automate or scale with a paid ad. You can scale an ad to bring in customers, but this is still a people to people business. And I don't talk about my marketing agency much because it's boring compared to what I do online. I mean that in the most genuine way. I've tried to talk about me and my marketing clients who are high-end billion-dollar businesses that we're doing marketing for, but for some reason, people hit like snooze. They don't want to hear about that from me. They want to hear how I sold $18,000 of a pink beanie versus like how I made my clients millions and millions of dollars. Whatever. So we need to have a serious talk, because with great power comes great responsibility. And what I'm about to show you and teach you is how you can build a 6 and 7 figure business as a marketing agency. And it works. And in fact, compared to anything I do, it's the most reliable type of business. It's based off people. If you're good with working with people, then this is for you. And you can make an amazing amount of money and build a team. My marketing agency team is like 15 people in the total company. My agency is called Unimarketer. You can look it up. But it's incredible because you're actually providing your services to help a business grow. And it's the most rewarding thing when you do it right. And when you do it wrong, you either get shame on you or they ask you to improve if you have a good relationship. So as long as you do a good job, you'll have happy clients forever. But I want you to make a promise to me if you decide to do this side hustle, that if I show you how to get clients, but I want to look you seriously in the eye, and I want you to make a promise to me, because this is such a legit business, and I don't want it to get a bad rep. So if you pursue this business and you get to the stage where a small business, just say like the local dentist, is willing to pay you $1,000 a month to create content for them on social media, which is also pretty realistic, that you don't take advantage of that business owner. You work your butt off and you deliver more value than what you're getting paid for. That's what I want you to do and think about, because as long as you always continue to over deliver value, you will always have clients. Let's back up a little bit. To do or create a social media marketing agency or a marketing agency, you first need to learn how to do marketing. Now, there are tons of video resources on how to run Facebook ads, Google ads, how to create a website. In fact, some of the stuff in this course, you're actually learning about marketing through the process of learning about side hustles. And what I'll tell you, if you're someone who is brand new and you might think, Adrian, I already know this side hustle isn't for me because I'm not a marketer. I want to say something, and if you are a marketer, please do not take offense to this, but the internet has really disrupted the marketing industry. So much so that marketing agencies and marketing personnel aren't getting properly trained on how to do digital marketing correctly. It's hard because marketing changes so fast. You really have to stay on your toes. And typically when marketing is your job, not because you want it to be, you don't have time to basically keep up to date with the latest Facebook tricks or optimizing search engine rankings for your website. It's just too much. And on top of keeping up to date, the business you work for is going to throw in a bunch of work that you have to do. So, and typically they're not going to say, hey, Adrian, I know we're paying you full time, but it's okay that you spend half the day learning or a couple hours a day learning. They should, but they don't. The second thing I want to mention about the industry of marketing is that people who had jobs in marketing before Facebook, for example, and then like digital ads, they were already in marketing and they were already, let's say, high up, and they were at marketing agencies. And then all of a sudden, this brand new way of marketing came out, the internet, Facebook ads, and now there's TikTok ads, and they didn't really get the opportunity to evolve with the time. So them trying to learn how to do TikTok ads or Facebook ads is very, very foreign. And I'm not saying that they can't do it. I'm just saying that they failed to evolve because their business failed to provide them the proper education or the energy or the time or resources to keep up with the times. And typically how these very traditional marketers in terms of digital marketing are trained is they go to maybe an event a couple times a year to try to, soak it in. But you can't learn all of this in a, 4-hour or even weekend event. You have to, be on the pulse of it every single day. What's the best way to market a small coffee shop on Facebook? What's the best way to get new clients for an attorney? What's the best way to create blogs that rank well for the best pizza shop, right? These are all questions that they are unable to figure out the best answer to because this whole digital marketing is changing so fast. I wanted to explain this because I'm really trying to set the precedent for you and encourage you, even if you have never done marketing before, that just by being in touch with my course like this, or being in touch with digital marketing and learning about the internet, it's actually better training than potentially people who have the job title of marketing. And if you do have the job title of marketing, again, please don't take offense to this. I'm hoping that maybe you can agree. Maybe I'll get a comment below that says, Adrian, I'm actually in a marketing position. My company has never paid me to go learn about the new Facebook ads or the new TikTok ads. They haven't provided those resources. And that's okay. I mean, that's just the realm of where we live. I wish businesses did do this, but they just don't. So with all that said, the opportunity for even a beginner to learn how to properly create content on Instagram, optimize blog posts, run Facebook ads or Google ads, even if you have no idea how to do it now, what should you spend time doing? Any of those marketing services, because you can be good enough to basically walk into a business or call them up or email them who is not doing Facebook ads and offer that service to them. Even if you have little experience, by you taking the time to learn properly and really deep dive on your own time, it's going to be better than potentially them hiring someone who has the job title marketing. Okay, enough pep talk. So you set the ground and the framework of the opportunity at hand. Basically, marketing has evolved and changed too fast and marketers can't keep up who have the job title marketing. So you, as the nimble, adaptive, and progressive digital marketer, and you could even say graphic designer or social media extraordinaire, can take the time to research and keep a pulse on what's happening. After you have learned about one of these things that we mentioned, Facebook ads, blogging, how to optimize SEO, it's now time to approach a client. Now, I'm gonna teach you a strategy on what I look at to try to quickly audit a business. And this is, no joke, a 6 or 7 figure skill. It's the same skill set that I've used to prospect my own clients. So I'm gonna literally teach you my trade secrets. And again, if you are someone who's watching this as a beginner, you're gonna obviously need to take some time and get nerdy and research everything so you can feel confident before you go to this next step. But I wanna show you this now so you get excited about, wow, all I need to do is learn about Facebook or marketing online, and now I have Adrian's strategies to go get clients. You're gonna crush it.
And we're live. Okay. Creating your master list of 100 is, you should take pride in it because it's basically going to be what this list we create for you is what's going to make your agency turn into a side business to 10K a month to a 6 and 7 figure agency. I'm not just saying that out of my butthole. It's because I've done this twice. The first time I did it, it was not for my agency. I was working at an agency, a small boutique agency. There was 2 employees at the time, me and another dude. And I grew the agency when I first got there. They had $120,000 in digital services. So basically 10K a month around when I started, and then when I left, their annual revenue for digital was $600,000. I did that in 2.5 years, and then 2.5 years ago from this date, I basically did it again, except in 2018, from digital only, my agency, Marketa, did just over $1 million in 1 year. So same exact things I'm about to show right now is exactly what I've done. The only differences would be when I first started, when I did this for the boutique agency, we targeted local and small clients, and the mindset was like, I'm only going to put them on the list if I think they're going to spend a minimum of $1,000 a month on marketing to $5,000 is kind of like the range. Obviously, more is great, but that's the perfect starting point. The second go around with my agency, Marketa, I didn't go after any local clients. We used a strategy to target in the niche, and I'm in the financial niche, so most of my clients are credit unions now, and they pay $20K to $30K or higher a month on a lot of different things. But this is that strategy to get to the first, I would say, to get your first $1 million into creating that business. And so we got this little list to go off of that you created here, which is basically, we kind of just said, hey, let's pick a niche and let's just create a list and you had your VA kind of scrape LASIK companies, right? So why don't we just use one of these as an example? And I filtered here, we're looking at LASIK companies in Texas, where you're currently based. And you got any favors here? Any, which one's feeling lucky?
I actually haven't taken a look at anything from it.
Okay. Let's pick one that has a brand name. Or Keats, and I care, I don't know. Let's try this one. So I'm going to walk you through the process of how I first qualify a website to see if this would be someone who's worth the time to prospect. Okay. Now, the whole point of going through this exercise is because the more you do it, the more it becomes ingrained as a way of thinking. I want you to start thinking the way I think, and I'm just going to say everything out loud, okay, as a brain dump. Right away, I see this site, and I think, holy shit, did I just go back to 1990? My God. And that's a good thing for you. You're trying to look at things that look ugly or bad or just backwards. And look at, this is like insane that this is even a website in today.
Okay. Can you share your screen? I don't think I can see.
Oh yeah, you should be able to see my screen. I'm sharing right now. Let's get that figured out. Oh, screen share.
There we go.
You can see it?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. So I literally picked this from your table here and I posted it here. Holy shit, right? That's bad. That's really bad. Oh, actually, I accidentally picked one in Florida, whatever. So what we're looking for is typically, I made this list here in the Master 100. I'm looking for things that would give me enough ammunition to go and reach out to them. So just to go over what this list is do they have Google Analytics installed? If they don't, it's like, holy moly. And the less they have on the list, the more likely they're better a candidate because they're behind, right? And small businesses with high ticket prices are perfect. Like LASIK's a perfect example because you could have a small little office, but each appointment they bring in is like a $4,000. They're $1,000 leads basically, right? So there's plenty of cushion in there for you to charge a service to do that and to get them up to speed. So I'm going through this list to see if they have analytics, if they have Tag Manager, if they have Facebook Pixel installed, if they have Google AdWords infrastructure. And I'm going to do a speed test. And I'm also going to check if the website's responsive. And then I'm just going to put the word out, content strategy. That can be very opinionated, but maybe I'll change that to be modern website, right? So why I'm doing this is because when you reach out, one of the biggest, most effective ways to get in the door is to educate them about how much missed opportunity they have that they don't have basic fundamental infrastructure of their website. Their website right now, without any of this infrastructure, will always be a brochure. Just something you go on to look at. When you have this infrastructure, it changes the website from a brochure that people go to just view, to a conversion machine, to your top salesman, to your best performing office. And then with my credit unions, I always say this, when we do this to the website, it turns into the largest branch that will close way more people, application and members than any brick and mortar will. You have to sell like that because that's the truth. Like this is how the power of the internet that's always working for you. But if you have none of this infrastructure, you can't do any of that. So it is the best angle. It is so much better to go through this way because right now all the other agencies are saying they're calling them or they're emailing them these awful emails from India that even I get. I don't know if you get them too, but it's like, we will do PPC for you. We are an expert Facebook marketing. We will run your SEO firms. We're an SEO firm. We're a Facebook firm. Like that, all these people, that's what they're calling to do marketing, and they're saying that's how they lead. That's how they talk, and like that. Like I hate the fact of people like trying to put an identity right away. It's like I don't give a shit who you are. Like because I get sales called too. Like the only time I'm listening is like if they've actually done some legwork, and like they're saying, hey, did you know that XYZ, you're missing out on this, or this is broken? Because then I'm like, okay, I got like, clearly they did their homework and I need to listen. And obviously if something's broken or not working, or I'm missing out on money or leads, like I want to know what the hell am I doing wrong, right? So you never want to leave with like, I do SEO, because that's what everyone else is doing. So enough rambling, let's get down to taking a look and crossing all these off. So first one, is this a modern site? Hell no. The site's straight out of 1999. So hell no.
But that's specifically, right?
Yes. Responsive. One way to know if a website's responsive is if you just bring it down like that, and a responsive website is going to conform to the size ratios that you have. I'm just doing this for example, but just by looking at that website, I would have known it wasn't responsive because it looks so bad. This makes me think of really doing marketing. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna add one more thing. Errors. Errors of a website. Look at this. Anything, if you have any web background experience, you know that like Flash and sometimes stuff in iframes just doesn't play. That's terrible. What a terrible first impression. Like if you wanted to get LASIK and you went to this website and they don't have their shit working, like I would not go to LASIK here. Why would I spend $5,000 here? Like I'm gonna go blind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely with that.
Right. And like that's such a logical sales pitch for you to be on the phone, to be in person, or email of like, how would you expect someone to hand you a $5,000 surgery bill? How do you expect them to do that when the first thing they go on your website is it's broken, right? So you could put major, minor, major, if you want to keep notes, because we're making this long list here. You can be a lot more specific based on your style of note taking to say major, main header is broken. So that's just your preference of, because imagine 2 weeks from now after you've made this list, or you can do this in a weekend, but it's a lot of different websites you'll be looking at and you might not remember what you meant here. So that's just up to you. So analytics, make sure you have all these plugins installed. If you don't have them, I'll put them in a list. Tag Assistant. So Tag Assistants, okay, you got that? So Google Analytics, yes, they do have it. Tag Manager, no. Facebook Pixel, negative. Google Ads, no, because that's also going to appear in Tag Manager. So there's lots of different speed tests you can do for free. I'm going to show you two. One is complicated, or one is more advanced, one is simple. This one's a simple one. Google Page Speed Test. You can put in any domain, it analyzes it, and most things I'm showing you and talking to you about today, you can assume that no, their website or their marketing staff have probably never ever done this. So this says it's super fast, and I'm fascinated by that. Interesting. Okay. The only thing I can think of is that there's really nothing on this website, so it makes sense it's fast.
True.
Speed passes. Another way to do the speed tests is if you're on Chrome, you can go to Inspect, and there's a tab on here that says Audits. You can click Audit, and desktop, you can click Run Audit. And it can also equip you with a lot of information that is great for an audit. So it looks like they have a mobile site that this audit's running through. Okay, so now, geez, I'm so surprised that really came out to 100. I'm just going to redo that in case it did not know what it was doing. In the meantime, lots of different data you can get here, and really we're looking for everything we're looking for bad things, right? We want to go after websites that need opportunity because one, it makes it a really easy sale. Two, you can make an impact right away. So using this speed test, gosh, insane. I'm going to avoid that. Now you have some pretty cool stats about this website that you can reach out to. If you're looking at this for the first time, you might not know what this means. And so each one, it's as simple as like copying this or copying this warning and then pasting it in Google. And then you can get educated on what that means. So that in case, let's say like you wanted to write this email and you took this screenshot and then they say, hey, well, anytime you see an email that says like failure in red and stuff's broken and all these things, like it's scary, right? So like, hey, we've got your email and we were looking at all the errors and we're trying to understand what this means. What does no manifest was fetched mean, right? You want to make sure you actually know what these things are before you send them. So you're like, good question. What does that mean? But these are all things that the more you get used to seeing these things, you'll start to build that kind of knowledge about everything. But essentially, a lot of the structure of the website determines how fast it is. It can be simple things like people didn't compact their images, so they're too big and they load slow. Or it can be complicated, like the content management system is not on WordPress, which is really SEO friendly. It's on something else that's was like custom made, which usually always are bad. So this is just another speed test you can do. And I'm going to change my answer to not pass. Even though the other one passed, like I don't want to tell them anything is positive about their current site. And this other speed test is also by Google. So I'm just going to say that other one is just not working for this example. But I'm going to put that what I just showed you is called Lighthouse. Lighthouse, many errors. So you can go back and know what they are. So we just did an audit of Katzen Eye Care, and without a doubt, this is ripe for the taking. I think some experience on education for these guys is try to ask your question like, why would their website be this bad? Because this is bad. Like there's bad, and this is really bad. And it could, and so you have to, the more calls you're going to take, you're going to get used to this. And you already start thinking like this, but like if I was chasing this client, I would be expecting someone very defensive. I always like to plan for the worst, but hope for the best. So my planning for the worst mentality is when I call them or when I email them, the reason why this website is just so bad is because there's someone there, maybe the owner who's ancient or old and like does not want to touch anything or thinks thinks digital marketing and the internet is stupid. Like I literally think there might be someone like that who's just like, the internet's the devil. Like it's because how bad they're like, they never changed. Right. So because I'm putting myself in that mentality, I know now that in my communication, I need to speak with the utmost level of professionalism. And I also need to hit them in the heart, because I don't care how old or young you are, or how ugly or modern your website looks. A business owner is a business owner and they care about money. So if you can explain without saying, oh, did you know you're a Flash player, header image isn't working and you don't have analytics in a Facebook pixel, to that guy or that owner or whoever this person is, they don't give a shit. You just spoke alien language.
Right.
But what they will understand is if you say, I went to your website and I tried to go through the process of filling out to set up an exam and I couldn't, or I noticed the way the form is set up is actually it actually doesn't connect, or it's not working effectively, and so you could be missing out on leads. Like that sentence, and then you go in, and this, I'm kind of speedballing here, but then you go into as to why, because there's not a Facebook pixel and AdWords and remarketing and all that, all the technical stuff if you want to do that. But you intro and you put it in a way that they understand. Now, whatever else you say that follows that is like, oh, okay, we need that. So you lead with the most, trying to put yourself in the shoes of like, who's behind this current website, and what are the things, how would you get in the door? And that'd be one way to do it. Now, I think for this first part, we're just, we're going through this auditing process just to put them on the list. And then in our next session, we'll actually do the training of like, now we're going back through that list, and because there are some other things you do before you do the outreach. And one of them, I kind of just hinted at it, is to pretend that you are a customer and go through the process of going through a lead yourself, and take screenshots, and because you want to be noting and thinking in terms of a user and also the marketer of like, hey, I actually took the time and effort and energy, and literally no one does this, to go through your application process. Here's all the things I saw that are wrong, not working, or could be improved. And so it's like you're already coming to them with all these answers that like they're gonna feel like FOMO, because if they don't call you, they won't get any of the insights that you're ready to talk about, willing and ready to talk about, because you already went through the whole system and know what it's like, right?
Gotcha.
Cool. So that'll be for our next video. But now let's just do maybe one, or do you feel like doing one more might be a good exercise then in the late? Okay, perfect. And then maybe we'll do one more from this list, and then we're going to do one more just cold internet searching for a company. So let's try. Oh, where's Bel Air? Close to you? Not close to you.
Yeah, that's in Houston.
Houston? Okay. Center of Texas. What is going on?
That's a good question.
I can't be right. Okay. Okay. Much better site. I'm gonna try this one more time because my other browser has all my tools. Okay, it's working. That's so strange. Okay, so I'm talking out loud here. This is how I analyze a site. I notice right at the top, they're clickable phone numbers. That's good. They have one call to action. That tells me there is some type of content strategy that they rebranded here, or that they have some type of help. I'm going to check that right now. Usually people are stupid enough to put, this website was built by. Looks like they didn't do that. So I'm assuming usually there's not someone who's smart enough to build this website for them. Maybe. It's usually not the case though. Okay, so in terms of a modern looking site, let's go back to this list and start filling this out. Modern, yes. And actually there's one thing I forgot to look in the other one. And that last part, I say, who's the site built with? Right here. Creatis Media Group. So these knuckleheads built their site. And that's important to put that down. Do you know why?
So you can mention what you've done and they can go back to find out why they didn't do it?
Yes, on that track. Here's what you can do basically. Like if these idiots sold and built this website for this client, like I want to know who their other clients are, because you could poach every single one. So later along the lines, we were going to go on here. Oh, we can do this right now, but sometimes these agencies will put their Yeah, check this out. So they're going after the medical niche. Gosh, this menu. Portfolio. Oh, no, that's portal. They'll put their client list of like their case studies. Oh yeah, it's right here. Beautiful. Because in my mind, not seeing what you've seen there, all these people are ripe for the taking.
Gotcha.
So it's like it's a really awesome hack. Is this is why building an agency is like one of the most like awesome businesses for right now. It's because of how bad marketing is, and it's just because of how fast technology has moved. It's too fast. You got to live this stuff, like you and I do. And,
Right.
and these companies are stale. They're traditional institutions that weren't built to adapt. And so they're selling old school websites without how they're marketing 10 years ago the way it should have been, where they're just so behind. So you find we just found this wherever this company is located, which is in, I don't even know, but I don't even know if that's relevant. But right here, in my mind, like, especially with knowing your background of like kind of the medical niche, like we just found a jackpot of prospects to go after all these. And I would add all of these to our master 100 list to go after. Like,
Okay.
it's crazy how fast, once you're looking with the right, lenses, how fast you can go and find prospects for clients. And we just did, we got a little lucky. We picked one from the list. It was really bad. They happened to put their web marketing powered by, and then we noticed that they're also in the medical niche, and this is awesome, crazy. This is the potential here. It's like, how many are on this list? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 30, 40. Let's just say there's 40 here. Like, without a doubt, you reach out to 40 of these people with the strategies we're doing, there's at least 2 to 3 to 5 can turn into clients for you, right? I mean, without a doubt, like, I know you're just getting started, but do you think you could do a better job than they are?
Yeah, definitely when it comes to web design.
Look at this. Exactly. It's like a no-brainer. So, all right. Thank you for letting me get sidetracked there. Let's go back to this website, which is a lot better. And actually, both of these clients are perfect examples of the current state of small business digital marketing. You have someone who's so outdated, looks 10, 20 years old. And then you have this, which I'm even more excited about, that we found, because you have this company who hired an agency to build them a nice looking website. I think it's a nice looking website. And here's, I think, the majority of the state. Now there's plenty of bad websites out there, but most of the prospects and the people the business that will be your clients are going to have websites that look like this. From a visual standpoint, they look great. It looks slick. It looks modern. It's responsive. Notice how it shapes down. So like they're good from a visual standpoint. But this is the whole strategy and philosophy of your agency, of our agency, is we don't care what it looks like. We care, does it work? Is it bringing you leads? Can you track the leads? Are you retargeting? Are you nurturing those leads? What's your cost per acquisition on your website? What's your average order value of someone that comes in? What's your conversion rate? When was the last time you got a lead from Facebook? Because you can. How many times are people hitting this request appointment form, and then what's the rate that they close at? I guarantee you this business, I'll bet you $1 million, like this business does not know how to do that. And you know how I know? Is because, first of all, there's no Facebook pixel. Second of all, there's no AdWords, there's no Google Ads tracking. And so, like, without that infrastructure, they don't have the tools in place to be able to even answer those questions. So it's crazy, like how it's like, you can basically see all the business's baggage and really what they're hiding behind this very good looking website by with these 2-3 clicks here.
Right.
It's crazy. And I love asking questions in which I already know the answer to. So let's go and finish this. So yes, tag manager, yes, pixel, no, Google Ads, no, responsive, yes. So here are some things to consider. When there's tag manager installed, it typically means that that they have some, like, usually tag manager is it's the most modern way to install infrastructure. So for clients that don't have it, it's another thing that you equip. It's like, hey, by the way, you guys have your Google Analytics installed incorrectly. Like, and that's Google Analytics is like fundamental. When you have Tag Manager, you're supposed to actually install all website infrastructure through Tag Manager. Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, everything has every single social media and search engine has infrastructure. You put it through Tag Manager. So the fact they have it's good, because in Tag Manager you can also track events, which is when someone clicks, for example, request appointment. And then you can also create goals off that as well. So you won't know if they have event tracking, but or conversion tracking, but I would always assume that they don't really have it unless you start to say things like a Facebook pixel and an AdWords remarketing code. Then there's a stronger chance that they do have that they're tracking, but it doesn't mean it's game over. So this client does, I would assume that they're not tracking this the way they should. So it's still a great prospect to reach out to. If they did have, let's say off this list here, they had it all, crushing it. It's still worth your time if you feel like that business, the money is there, because you can go back to, hey, I noticed you have your Tag Manager, your AdWords, your Facebook, well, all that good stuff, and I want to ask you, what, how is your marketing performing? What is your customer acquisition cost and your your conversion rate? How's it doing? Is your website bringing in leads at your closing? Is it profitable? Those questions and I've done, I don't know if I could put a number on it. I mean, hundreds. It'd be hard to say thousands, but I've been in hundreds of pitches with small businesses and medium-sized businesses and large, and I've only had one client ever say, oh, well, our cost per acquisition is XYZ, our conversion rate's this. Only one, and they were an e-commerce store. So that was the only time. So even if they have all the infrastructure and all this stuff, when you ask, they're not going to know. And that uncertainty is so great for your salesmanship, because as soon as they don't know, and depending on which angle you want to go, sometimes when I get in the door, there's like that person there who's like scared because you're their marketing director and they feel like you're going to take their job, which you're not. You actually want them on your side. But when I ask that question, sometimes I'll let them squirm a little bit, just because I didn't like I had to fight so much to get in the door. So I'll be like, hey, what is your customer acquisition cost? And they're like, because a lot of times they don't even know what that means unless they watch Shark Tank. All right. And they'll squirm. Other times, as soon as I ask that, and I can just see that you can just see the look on their face, and they're like, then I'll just quickly say, well, it's okay if you don't have it now. If I'm playing Mr. Nice Guy, it's okay you don't have it now, but when we get started, that's going to be the first thing that we figure out for you, and that's going to be the number that drives whether working or whether your Facebook or on your ads are working. If I can get you a lead for LASIK eye surgery for $100, that's quite the bargain, right? And then, depending on your salesman style, the way I like to be is very transparent. It's like, Like that's the number I want you to measure if we're a good relationship or not. Because if I bring you a lead and it costs you $5,000, it's not a good deal. You should definitely go and work with someone else to see if you can make that and get you a better cost per lead. But the whole point of having this infrastructure is you're going to actually have data to make decisions, and because you've never had that opportunity before to actually understand what your cost per acquisition is a game changer. Now you can make intelligent decisions based on performance, not clicks, impressions, likes on Facebook. How much money does it take to bring in a lead working with Adrian and then drive that? How much is their cost per lead on Facebook, on Google? And hopefully, if it's good, that means I'll make more money and you'll make more money at the same time, right?
Gotcha.
Essentially, it goes something like that. And then they just take out their wallet, they sign it, and then you're good to go. That's just good.
Just that simple, right?
Yeah. But no, I mean, that's basically like my spiel. They love it because like a lot of the companies, they're coming in here and they're saying, ooh, like they're talking about opinions, like your website could be better. Like we'll post on your Facebook. We'll optimize your pages for SEO. Again, all those things, like it's alien language to them. They don't understand that. So you're coming in with leads. You're talking about having them actually have enough data, and you're talking from a level of accountability, which no marketing firms want to do. They don't want to be accountable for anything. They just want to get their check, send a report every 30 days, and call it good. And gotcha. You're coming in first saying, I want you to measure my work. Right now, you can't measure anyone's work, so you don't know if the work I'm going to be doing is going to be good. I'm going to give you the tools so you can first do that. Then then look at the data, and if it's not working, fire me. Like that's pretty powerful stuff.
Right. True. Gotcha. I understand.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have all the tag, the Chrome extensions already set in place, and reality is somewhat the same, but I guess my approach was doing like the email outreach, and then once they show a moderate amount of interest, then go through and do a deep dive. Obviously, it's not scalable at this moment, simply because it just gets lost in noise, Yeah. And I've only been doing that for like a month because a friend of mine, actually, he has an agency, and he's all about email outreach and hacking and, gray hat, black hat kind of tactics. And so that's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Not completely foreign. I guess my biggest direction would be I can obviously handle my own on the medical side. So I don't know if I should focus specifically throughout different variations, because I know like the dentist, the chiropractors, that everyone, the grandmother goes from there. So I don't know, should I focus on a specific side or anywhere within that range?
I think, I would start by, there's really not a right answer to that. I think if you use the qualifications of would they spend $1,000 to $5,000, if you use this auditing system that we just went over today, that's plenty enough. They don't all have to be in the medical space, but LASIK is a terribly good space to be in because of it's such high ticket, but it does not have to be. I would just look at small businesses in the area. And I kid you not, this is something I did at my first place. Is like I went to the Yellow Book, and I went and I would take note of all the companies that were still using Yellow Book ads, because if they're spending money on Yellow Book, they're really behind.
Gotcha. That
$500, $200 a month, $1,000 a month that they're spending in Yellow Book, I could do so much better with that if they spent it with me, right? So that was my mentality. So that's what I thought. God, that's such a bad decision. They're probably making all other types of bad decisions. So that's a big opportunity. So the Yellow Book was a great prospect generator for me.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to take a look at that one. Yeah, because I know Yellow Book has been dead since the mid-90s. So.
Right. I know. Now they call it something else, but any direct mail that I get locally, that was another thing. If I'm getting direct mail, coupons or something. Or like in Iowa, they had this thing called Valpak, where like all these companies would throw discounts. And so you get this like envelope full of like 100 different business discounts. That was also a great list of like, I would do the same process we did today. It's like, I would then go to their website and check it out. Cause one thing that tells me is like, they believe in marketing. They're just putting their money and they don't know that there's a better place to put that $500 or $1,000 a month in.
That's a great idea. Yeah, because I get that too, and I just dump it in the trash.
Right. I used to do that too, but then I realized I just dumped all my prospects in there.
Yeah, that's a good one for that.
Yeah. So I think I always like to say like it's easier to go off businesses that you have some familiarity to, or like you can talk confidently about. So like your background specifically in the medical field is like talking to LASIK and medical places should be easy. You don't have to. Definitely don't have to.
So now that you've learned my strategies, my only request is please don't take my clients. Now it's super hard to teach you how to build a marketing agency in one video, but I wanted to at least plant this idea in your head, set the stage of the opportunity, and if this is something like, wow, like I think I could actually do this, that was the goal of this video, is to basically tell you that this is an amazing opportunity. You don't need to go to college to basically be good at digital marketing anymore. In fact, all you gotta do is research and learn, spend hours learning about what's the most progressive and up-to-date way of doing things, and that alone is gonna set you an advantage. And now you know how to prospect. So the following stage is basically putting your skills and matching it to business opportunities, and I'm gonna leave you at last with a super easy, non-salesy script. You can do this over the phone or an email. I prefer phone call, but goes like this. Hello, small mom and pop business. My name's Adrian and I'm at the very beginning of building my marketing agency. I'm currently offering, insert whatever skill that you're focusing on first, Facebook ads is one of the main ways to help businesses. And because transparently we don't have many clients, I wanted to actually reach out to you to see if we can do this for free for you as a way to just get feedback on the value we provide and to help build our portfolio. We would love to just do a free trial run of 14 days. Wow, for free? Of course, how could I say no? No joke, it's that script that I used in a way when I started out to help build my agency. What I'll tell you is super realistic to try to get 10 clients that pay $1,000 a month. These clients don't go chasing Fortune 500 companies, chase the local businesses, and I always emphasize the businesses that are local but that provide a high ticket service. So doctors, attorneys, dentists, plastic surgery, laser treatment. Why go after the high ticket? Just because it's easier for these businesses to justify paying and investing in marketing dollars. Whereas if you try to go for like a local coffee shop and they pay you $1,000 a month, just think of how much new traffic or copies they would need to sell just to cover your investment. Whereas let's just say a laser eye surgery place, if they're paying you $1,000 a month and you bring in one lead, that pays for your services and more. So what do you think? Do you think building a marketing agency is something you would like to try? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You're more than welcome to check out my agency website, unimarketer.com. And I will throw a small little plug that I do have a marketing agency course. You can actually check it out by going to adrianbrambila.com/agency. Otherwise, I'd like to remind you to check out the free complimentary resources that go with this course at adrianbrambila.com/30 days. And I want to say thank you so much for watching. This is Adrian Brambila. Peace. When I started my very first side hustle, I was working at a call center making $27,000 a year. If I could pinpoint how I got from then to now, it would definitely be by the power of habit. It's one of the hardest things to create, but once you have it, you feel unstoppable. To help you build it, I've created the Side Hustle Journal, which is a daily journal that will help hold you accountable to working on your side hustle and creating an amazing business and life that you love. Go to adrianbrambila.com/journal to check it out today.